What's good, your boy Haki? Today we're gonna be reacting to Diddy Could Be Home Next Week by Trapmore Ross. Drop a like, comment, subscribe on the video. Let's get straight into it and go check out Trapmore Ross's channel.
All right, so it's been a little while since we last heard from the diddler. Okay, P. Diddy, he was obviously indicted. He was caught up in some pretty serious, some pretty heinous charges. Okay, my hair's all type of greasy today. I haven't had a shower yet. I'm not gonna cap, all right? But luckily you can't smell me through the screen. Anyway, all right, P. Diddy, he has had a pretty spectacular fall from grace ever since he was indicted on a whole bunch of trafficking charges. Let's just do a little recap of everything that Diddy went through, and then I'm going to tell you why it might be the case that he's asking the judge, pretty please, can you just let me skate? Can you let me off scot-free? And people are suggesting that apparently the judge is actually considering P. Diddy's requests, okay? So this is a classic TMZ article, a whole timeline of his arrest, trial, and verdict. Okay, this is a whole breakdown. It's a 6-minute breakdown. Let's just have a little look and refresh our memories with what TMZ had to say about the situation.
Let's see what
I'll
TMZ.
tell you how he's trying to skate off on everything that's going on. Let's see. So November the 16th, 2023. The diddler was sued by
Diddy would hire male prostitutes and force her to have sex with these male prostitutes.
So November, Cassie settled the lawsuit amicably. There was talk that there was $30 million, $20 million that had been paid for her to withdraw her claims.
Sheesh.
Okay, definitely a big bag was likely deposited, and that went away, but unfortunately the feds weren't far behind.
She filed it on Thursday, and just over 24 hours later, they settled.
March the 25th, 2024. Diddy's LA and Miami homes were raided.
I think I remember this, bro. I remember because I opened up Instagram, bro. Because at this time I was like running my clothing brand, so I was like, I'm in like that clothing brand mood, bro. And I just see this dude Diddy's thing, Diddy's LA and Miami homes raided by federal law enforcement, and you just see, I'd say 20 to 30 just different feds just all going through his whole career. There was videos of it. It was crazy.
Federal law enforcement. So the feds swooped in. They said, we don't care about you paying off Cassie. We got bigger fish to fry than Cassie.
They had to get a search warrant, which means that they had to convince a judge that there was probable cause to believe that there was indeed sex trafficking, human trafficking.
May the 17th, 2024. Diddy seen assaulting ex-girlfriend on video from 2016 hotel incident. Now I'm going to skip past that because that's got me demonetized in the past. But we all saw the footage. If you didn't see the footage, maybe...
Hey, if you ain't go see the footage, you want to go see it, type in Diddy Cassie video x.com. That's all you got to do. It'll pop up. I mean, I don't think you want to see it. It's pretty graphic, but he did beat her. It was live HD,
footage, but it was pretty brutal. Diddy absolutely beaten mercilessly on Cassie, really unacceptable. That really was the turning point for a lot of people that thought, Diddy probably ain't do nothing wrong, like Diddy probably all right, Diddy just being Diddy. Nah. All right, he denied this happened. We saw the footage of it, and I think a lot of people changed their opinion. Now, after that, on September the 16th, 2024, he was arrested by the feds in New York.
They did a perp walk. I mean, essentially, they walked Diddy in handcuffs right out the front of this hotel.
September the 17th, 2024, he was fully indicted, officially.
Sean Combs led and participated in a racketeering conspiracy that used the business empire he controlled to carry out criminal activity.
September the 17th, 2024, the indictment described drug-fueled freak-offs. All right, we started to hear about these baby oil-drenched affairs that were going on.
Yeah. This shit is still like unreal to me, bro. Because some people were saying like the dude had baby oil that had like substances inside of it, and it would like activate when you rubbed it on you, and just
behind the scenes, man.
Crazy
we heard the rumors,
stuff.
but it was officially proven to be true after this indictment dropped.
Freak-offs sometimes lasted days at a time, involved multiple commercial sex workers.
Days at a time. Like, how are you doing that for days at a time? Like, I done I don't, everyone probably that's watching this video, I would hope, is above the age of 18, but you probably done got your freak on. Nigga, days? What? You taking steroids, my boy? Like days? What's the
which is ketamine, ecstasy, and GHB, which Combs distributed to the victims to keep them obedient and compliant. They seized cases and cases of the kinds of personal lubricant and baby oil that Combs' staff allegedly used to stock hotel rooms for the freak-offs. More than 1,000 bottles altogether.
17th of September 24, again, Diddy pleads not guilty and is held without
he will be
bail.
settling into life behind bars until this trial begins, but it is particularly stark difference from his lifestyle living in mansions in Miami or LA.
May the 12th. Trial begins, opening statements
One
and
incident
graphic
where
info.
prosecutors say he ordered an escort to urinate on Cassie.
That's not a crime.
Oh, Charles! Charles is right. Urinating
That's
on
not a
people
crime.
can be consensual, but it gives this idea of somebody in control who wants to dehumanize other people.
Yeah.
May the 13th. Cassie gives her testimony and details the freak-offs and drug abuse that was going on behind the scenes. So that hush money didn't keep her too hush, because if the feds are asking you to get on the stand,
Hey,
gonna...
feds ask you to get on the stand. You better get on the stand. You better get on the stand, bro. For these, hey man, they'll pull up something that you did 10 years ago that you forgot about. Be like, do you remember doing this? Yeah, we're gonna need you to testify for us, and if not, you're going to jail, buddy. Like, that's how that.
supersede your NDA, my friend.
So she testified that she would take opiates after freak-offs to numb herself from painful UTIs. And she testified that she would also get sores on her tongue from all the oral sex during the freak-offs. She told the jury that she needed massages, IV fluids, and food to recover from the freak-offs.
May the 22nd. Kid Cudi testifies about Diddy's threats.
Oh, this was
Cassie.
bad.
You remember Kid Cudi?
Hey, if y'all been following the channel for a little bit, bro, this was when it got bad, bro. This is when we were really looking at Diddy like the Joker. Like, this is when we found out that Diddy was on Joker timing. Like, he was, yeah. I think Joker timing is probably the best way to explain it. Bro was literally on Joker time. Bro paid someone to break into his home.
Thugger for being a rat. This is why. Okay, but shout out to Kid Cudi, man. He's a brave man. He did what he could to try and put away an alleged creep. All right, and you got to respect him.
What he said was the firebombing of his Porsche, a very tense showdown with Diddy at his home, and this was all over the fact that Cudi at the time was dating Cassie when she was on a break from Diddy.
June the 5th. That's when Diddy's ex, the Jane Doe, testifies about their relationship.
There was nothing coercive in her testimony. She said that she was madly in love with him and wanted to be with him more and more and more, and she would do anything for him. That is not coercive.
But she told him no, too, that she couldn't do it anymore.
June the 13th. Kanye showed up to support Diddy. He didn't stay long.
Nigga started to hearing what they was talking about in court. He was like, "Oh, gotta go. You cannot support this. This is bad."
He was showing out, man, and he also pressed up a hoodie. There's the same hoodie that Cassie was wearing when she got beaten up. He started selling those, man. This guy's twisted.
Kanye spent probably a half an hour in the court, so he got in, got the vibes, didn't like the vibes, and then left.
July the 1st. Jurors reach a verdict on 4 or 5
charges. They are now unanimous on after less than 2 days of deliberation. Racketeering is the difficult one, and the note that they have sent to the judge, they said that there are jurors who cannot agree. So the judge has now sent them back, and we will see whether they come back again and say we're hopelessly deadlocked, or they're able to reach some kind of a decision.
July the 2nd. Diddy was acquitted of racketeering, but found guilty of 2 charges on the Mann Act related to prostitution.
U.S. versus Combs, count 1, not guilty. Sex trafficking of Cassie Ventura, not guilty. Transportation of prostitution, guilty. So count 1 and 2, not guilty.
Wow.
Mann Act, guilty. Jane Mann Act.
Sex trafficking, not guilty. Transportation of prostitution, Jane, guilty.
Wow, so 2 with the Mann Act. 2 Mann Acts, and that's it.
July the 2nd. Same
Damn, they're good at what they do, bro.
He
Holy.
was denied bail, can't come
His
home.
attorneys put the full court press on saying that he should be let out on bail, Your Honor, and the judge came back and said, nope, not so fast. He is going to remain behind bars in Brooklyn until his sentencing. The judge said he was denying bail in no small part because Diddy is a violent man who has ignored the law.
2025. Diddy remains behind bars awaiting his sentencing that is due for October the 3rd. That's only a few days' time, people.
Hey, bro, that's this Friday, man. That's this Friday. So that means that Diddy genuinely could. We might be seeing the return of the diddler, man. Now, I ain't gonna lie. I do think that Diddy, like, when if he is released, he's not. I want to low key be like he's gonna be like quiet, keep his name out of the media. But he's never been that type of person. He's always been the like, yo, I'm gonna be in your face. I need the attention type of person. So I feel like he's gonna come out and he's gonna be like, they were oppressing me. It was all lies. Da, 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 da. This I'm suing. And we're gonna drop a whole new album. Bad boy for life, baby. Like some like he's gonna come out and just go crazy. For some reason, I feel like it's true, bro.
His lawyer, Mark.
The one thing that he says more than anything else is, I am going to make the most of my time in jail. I'm not just going to suffer through this time or blame anyone else for this time. I'm going to take account of my own actions. I'm going to try to do better. I'm going to have the last chapters of my life be the best chapters of my life.
Apparently, he still has several unrelated civil lawsuits pending, so they still come in for his bank account. You want that check? Diddy sued. You're about to get that. Diddy love, he told me before alleged R word. I ain't even gonna read that, but he apparently did a
what
to Biggie shirt and got material on someone. I ain't even seen that one before. That's actually insane.
That is literally insane, bro. I've never heard of that, bro. We might. What the fuck?
Sued by former male employee. It's a bad look. Okay, so his sentencing was due, or it is due in just a few days, but people are saying he's trying to make a Hail Mary pass to try and get himself out of it. Okay, so this is in Sky News. Sean Diddy Combs faces sentencing. How much time is he expected to serve? He's just days away from being sentenced. And this article was today, okay, following his high-profile trial earlier this. Look how grotesque he looks there, man. Damn. Diddy is set to be sentenced over prostitution charges next week. The hip-hop mogul has already served just over a year in prison after being arrested in September 2023. He was found guilty of 2 charges, transportation for engagement in prostitution, but cleared of the more serious S-trafficking and racketeering conspiracies. He's facing up to 20 years in jail, but his defense team is arguing for much
Damn.
less.
Even with the that's 20 years, bro. Jeez. They not playing with him, bro. They're trying to throw the whole book at him.
The charges fall under America's Mann Act, which prohibits interstate commerce related to prostitution. Okay, he fell to his knees like Lil Durk, man, in the courtroom when he got the verdict. He was found not guilty of 2 counts of sex trafficking related to Cassie and the Jane Doe and 1 count of the racketeering, so he beat those ones. While the jurors believed that he broke the law over using S-workers, they didn't find that intercourse involving the women was non-consensual, which is what prosecutors argued, okay? So this is going to break down what racketeering is, all of that stuff. But here's what we're here for, man. Will Combs be jailed for 20 years? Each charge of transportation to engage in prostitution carries a max sentence of 10 years. So in theory, he could be sentenced to up to 20 years. However, it's thought the sentence will be less than this. Following the verdict, prosecutors said he should be sentenced to at least 4 to 5 years, but he's been denied bail several times. Following the trial verdict, prosecutors and the defense have made arguments about the sentencing. Most recently, Combs' lawyer submitted a legal submission to the court calling for the rapper to be jailed for no more than 14 months, which after the time already served would mean he walks free almost immediately. Before this, they called for Combs to be acquitted or given a retrial on the prostitution charges, but the US government painted him as a monster. They said, but he argued his 2-month trial showed the allegations were not supported by credible evidence. The lawyers argued that to their knowledge, he's the only person ever convicted of the Mann Act for the conduct that he was accused of in court. The judge who presided over the trial will be deciding the sentencing. He's previously decided several times not to grant bail, saying the hip-hop mogul's team have failed to show evidence that he's not a flight risk and cited admissions of previous violence made during the trial. During her opening statement, Tony Garagos, who was on Combs' defense, described him as a complicated man and conceded that, yeah, he could be violent, but she argued this was not the charge against him, okay? And people are wondering if he's going to come back, all right? If he's going to be making a run, if he's going to be doing interview songs, all of that stuff. According to Vulture, are they going to allow me to read this? Oh, so this is an article in Vulture. It says
they be coming after this dude.
First Amendment gambit, okay? Sean Diddy Combs' lawyers doubled down on claims that his actions were actually protected by the First Amendment during a hearing as part of their ongoing push for an acquittal. Okay, they're saying that he was the producer of amateur corn. All right, one of Diddy's lawyers told the judge. Diddy's team's hoping for an acquittal by trying to point out major legal problems in the case. He's a consumer of amateur pee. All right. It's well settled this type of amateur corn, whether it's live or recorded, is protected by the First Amendment. Okay. The protection also extended to times Diddy didn't record the encounters, but it's often only a live stream back and forth. Okay. He was found guilty on those 2 charges, but they're trying to downplay it as much as they possibly can. All right. Prosecutor Christy Slavic, who spoke on the First Amendment issue, insisted Diddy's hiring male escorts across state lines didn't involve free speech. There's no symbolic speech, she said, which would have First Amendment protection. The act that violated the law was the transportation, which is not protected symbolic speech. Okay, Diddy's Avenger-like legal counsel detailed their First Amendment claims in late July court filings. The freak-offs and hotel nights were performances that he or his girlfriends typically videotaped so they could watch them later. His lawyers wrote, in other words, he was producing amateur corn for later private viewing, and generally speaking, most corn is protected as long as it doesn't involve children or obscenity. But prosecutors have insisted, however, that Diddy wasn't paying the PR prostitutes to make blue movies in their own court filings. The record shows the defendant was anything but a producer of adult films entitled to the First Amendment protection. Rather, he was a voracious consumer of commercial sex, paying male commercial sex workers on hundreds of occasions to have S with his girlfriends for his own arousal. All right. Moreover, the conduct.
So that boy really was an Adam 22. I can't believe that, man.
By the Mann Act, causing the interstate transportation of an individual for the purpose of prostitution is not entitled to First Amendment protection. All right. The judge will be ruling on his push for acquittal. He's set to be sentenced. He's set to be sentenced basically on October the 3rd, and it's been reported that his lawyers are pushing hard for the sentence to be vacated. All right, the judge is set to rule on this very shortly, and Diddy
very shortly, man,
he's been making a bid to vacate his conviction or get granted a new trial. Okay, the judge overseeing the criminal case didn't immediately rule on his request to vacate his conviction on prostitution charges or his bid for a new trial. The judge said that the court would issue a decision very soon, and otherwise everyone will be back here next Friday. Okay. And according to a new article by The Hollywood Reporter, apparently the trial judge is actually considering vacating the rapper's 2 convictions, okay? So basically it's being considered, all right? So it says that the federal judge overseeing the Diddy imminent sentencing on the 2 counts, this page is all wonky, on the 2 counts in the split verdict at the sensational trial is now weighing the argument from the mogul's defense team that his conviction should be vacated if he must have a new.
So what they're trying to basically do, get a new trial, cut off all of the like previous ties to the other charges that he had, so they can basically just focus on the transportation charges. But what they're really hoping is that that kind of scrambles up some things, maybe knocks off some evidence, and that could maybe potentially make it a little bit easier for them to prove that he was trying to, because they're trying to, I think they're trying to keep up that angle. He was just filming, PO, corn, with, so they could watch later. He's not, nothing wrong with that. That's just, So yeah, we will see. I will probably end up making a video on like what with what happens with during his trial on Friday. I could not, like, my brain just completely turned off for a second. But yeah, that is it for today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed, and if you did, drop a like, comment, subscribe. That's your boy Haki, and I'm